Right now at 6, we have new details from the deep as the search continues for the 5 passengers missing on a sub in the North Atlantic. What was heard underwater that could be a glimmer of hope.
Plus, a string of violent crimes in one Connecticut community leaving folks on edge. Ahead in the hour, Brooke Griffin speaking with police working to protect the neighborhood.
Also, the Travelers Championship is here all morning long. We're teeing off with team coverage on the highly anticipated sports event in Cromwell.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for starting off your day here with us. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Keith McGilvery. It is 6 o'clock. Our friend Tim Lammers picking up the assignment of the week, TPC River Highlands. You are in your element. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, it is a beautiful sunrise here on the longest day of the year. Plenty of daylight this early in the morning at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell for Celebrity Pro-Am Day. Remember, the actual tournament starts tomorrow, but today is a great chance to go get to see some of your favorite golfers and a lot of celebrities. And if you get here early, you will be rewarded. I'll get to some of the other celebrity tee times in a quick second, but Scotty Scheffler, one of the best players in the world, going off at 650. Ricky Fowler, who almost won the U.S. Open, a big fan favorite at 710. But then a lot of the PGA Tour golfers are going to play with celebrities. Let's just show you some of those tee times because they're actually scattered a little more interspersed throughout the morning than what we've seen. Football legend Tiki Barber, along with former Red Sox knuckleballer Tim Wakefield and singer-songwriter Leigh Montagna, they're teeing off at 7:30. Then the all-football group starts at noon. That's when the heavy hitters come in. Doug Flutie, Andre Tippett, former ESPN anchor Chris Berman at noon. Nancy Stevens, journalist Dylan Dreyer, and Nancy Stevens, of course, the UConn field hockey coach, and Chris Daly, associate head coach of the women's team. They're at 12:10. And then right after that, more football. You got UConn head coach Jim Mora, the best UConn quarterback ever, Dan Orlovsky, at 12:20, along with Mike Cavanaugh. And then how about this pairing right after that at 12:30? Bill Murray, the famous comedian, playing with Gino Auriemma. So that is just 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going off. And then at 12:40, Jim Calhoun, also with golf broadcaster Amanda Renner, at 12:40. All of them are going off on the first tee. You got plenty of time to get here. There's plenty of parking, plenty of space out on the course. We're going to have a lot more coming up throughout the morning, including tournament director Nathan Grube talking about the first year this being a big elevated event. The purse has jumped amazingly. It's amazing how much money these tour pros are playing for, and hopefully that's going to translate to a lot of money for charity. So we'll have a lot more on that coming up throughout the morning. But for now, here at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, I'm Tim Lammers. Let's send it back to you in Hartford.
All right. Can you tell he's in his element this morning, Tim? We're psyched for
pumped,
you.
Yeah.
Lindsay's out there as well. We have team coverage throughout the week, and it should be great. Should we talk weather?
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be out there today in Cromwell, so we're checking in with meteorologist Sam Samperi. I know what the weather is going to be like. Hopefully it's a good one for the first day of summer as well.
That's right, and it's going to be a beautiful day to start out that championship today. However, it's not going to get all that good the rest of the week. But let's talk about today. Happy summer, everyone. It's in the 50s right now. We got the sun coming up. We have the wind out of the northeast, not bad at all. We have some clouds around, but off to our south. They're going to stay there today. Low pressure will bother us for the rest of the week, actually. Take a look at this, a mix of sun and clouds. A nice dry afternoon shaping up. High temperatures topping out into the mid-70s with that east wind picking up 5 to 15. Cool and pleasant today, but big changes on the way as we turn the weather downhill in a big way. All coming up in a few minutes on your Fox 61 7-day forecast. Now over to traffic. How are we doing this first day of summer? Good morning to you, Lauren.
Good morning to you, Sam. Sun glare is always an issue out there on super sunny days. For all the drivers out there, keep some sunglasses in your car. Polarized if you are able to get them. But as of right now, no crashes or incidents out on the roadways. Let's bring you out into the Milford, West Haven area. We did have some road work over on I-95 on the southbound side. As we can see, that has cleared. Traffic is moving freely, so that is some good news to report. Taking a live look at our Hartford drive times, 91, 84, Route 2, if you're heading to the Travelers Championship extra early. You're not going to hit any traffic as of right now. Taking a live look out in Newtown on I-84 east and westbound, we did have some heavy volume on the westbound side, but now it's moving freely. And as we talk about the Travelers Championship, for anyone heading in this area, as we see lots of green in this area on Route 3, on the Celestine Highway, Route 9 and 91, all looking great. Now, speaking of the Travelers Championship, if you are going to be driving to the Travelers Championship, you will want to type in 674 Main Street as your address. Now, regardless of where you are coming from, whether you're coming from the north, the south, east, the west, coming on the Celestine Highway or on I-91, you are going to want to look for signs for the gold lot. That is your golden ticket to parking. If your family member has special needs, though, there will be a complimentary wheelchair accessible shuttle that goes directly to the main entrance. Now, if you are taking a ride share, the drop off and pickup location is in the pink lot that you could see there on your screen. It is all laid out for you right here on our graphic, but also right on our website, fox61.com. Keith and Eric, I'll send things back over to you, and we'll check in again on the roads in the next half hour.
Thank you, Lauren. 6:06, people in East Hartford on edge after 2 violent crimes taking place in their neighborhood in just a couple of days.
Yeah, first a homicide, now a sexual assault, but only one case with an arrest made so far. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live in East Hartford with the latest on what police are saying. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning to you both. East Hartford police really have their hands full right now as they're still searching for the suspect in an over the weekend homicide that happened. Plus, they've also now made an arrest in a situation, a sexual assault that happened last week. East Hartford officers say on Friday, 29-year-old Tyone Pierce broke into a home on Whitney Street and sexually assaulted a woman who was asleep in her bed. Police tell us the victim knew the suspect, and the suspect also left his phone at the home, and DNA evidence was found during the investigation. That tied him right to the scene. Pierce was arrested by East Hartford police on Monday. The assault isn't the only violent crime to happen in this neighborhood in the past week. A 51-year-old woman was found stabbed to death in her Martin Circle home on Sunday. For reference, Martin Circle is just about a block over from Whitney Street, where that other woman was assaulted. Residents of this neighborhood say the crimes have really put them on edge.
It's crazy, and it's been like in a week span. Like, it's crazy. I don't know what's going on.
Any arrest made in that homicide, that brutal stabbing that happened there over the weekend, but police again were able to make an arrest in the assault case, and that man is being held on a $500,000 bond. Live in East Hartford, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Brooke. This morning, as the search continues for the 5 missing people aboard the Titan sub deep in the North Atlantic, we are learning that a Canadian military surveillance aircraft has detected underwater noise in a remote area where that sub initially vanished.
A statement from the U.S. Coast Guard did not elaborate on what rescuers believe the noises could be, but this does offer a glimmer of hope for those now lost aboard the Titan. Well, this morning estimates now suggest that as little as a day's worth of oxygen could be left in the vessel is still functioning.
Fox 61's Angela Bavaro joining us live in studio with details on one of the 5 aboard the missing sub, Angelo, and his connection to Connecticut. What have you learned?
Keith, Erica, good morning. The man who we're talking about here is 77-year-old French explorer Paul Henry Nargeolet, who used to live in Kent and is known as Mr. Titanic because of his expertise on this subject. The veteran diver, take a look, had already visited the Titanic wreck at least 35 times, also supervising the recovery of thousands of artifacts. Nargeolet was known simply as PH by his neighbors in Kent. He sold a sprawling farm in the town about a year ago and moved across the border into New York's Dutchess County. Neighbors who knew Nargeolet now holding onto any glimmer of hope as this search continues for that sub that vanished deep in the Atlantic Ocean.
He would just tell you the most amazing stories. And I think a lot of people are Titanic lovers. They have, the stories are so interesting. If there was a nuance to a story, he always put his finger right on it and just made it live.
Others on board the Titanic sub include a British businessman, a Pakistani businessman and his teenage son, and the CEO of the company that operates the vessel. The last communication with that vessel was on Sunday, and the Coast Guard says it has already searched an area the size of Connecticut and is adding remotely operated vehicles to look below the surface. Now, even under the best of circumstances, that sub could run out of oxygen by tomorrow morning, so the time for any hope, that is shrinking by the minute. Erica, Keith, I will send things back to you.
All right, Angela, thank you. Well, the missing man with dementia in Windsor has been found alive. Police say 80-year-old Earl Wright was found at about 11:30 yesterday morning. He was in the woods behind an industrial building about 3 miles from his home. After he was found, he was taken to a hospital to be checked out. Discussions on data privacy are going to begin today in the Elm City. State leaders are going to come together to push for new rights and obligations under the Connecticut Data Privacy Act, which is set to go into effect July 1st. The CTDPA gives consumers the right to access, correct, and delete personal data stored and collected by businesses. It also gives consumers the right to opt out of the sale of personal data and targeted information.